Hello, this is Malorian, and this is going to be a 3,000 point game that I had with my Orcs versus a Ogre army that actually had Greasus Goldtooth, so a special character that I've never faced against before. Okay, so looking at this first picture here, I just want to say that my opponent was supposed to trade on this day for that Greasus Goldtooth and for the scrap launcher, but the guy never showed up. So he just has a chariot base for the one, and then a tyrant on a long base for the other. Very unfortunate, but at least it's going to be my first time facing against him, and then also the first time playing with a river. So on his side at the top there, he has 50 nobblers. He has two giants, a big unit of bulls with a butcher in there, a big unit of iron guts with Greasus. Then he has his chariot there, the scrap launcher, another big unit of iron guts with another butcher. For some terrain, that's a tower of blood on the left side, a river on the right. I have a hill there and an obstacle. Me left to right, I have my wolves. I have 50 night goblins with 3 heroes with great weapons. I have a chariot. I have 50 orcs, another chariot, another chariot. Behind that obstacle there, I have another 50 night goblins with the 3 characters with great weapons. I have a doom diver, 4 scrap launches, or spirit chuckers on the hill, a little bunker of 20 night goblin archers, and in that unit is my level 4 great shaman. I have my orc war boss general, who also has a wizard's hat. I had shadow magic, and then my black orc BSB. And again, it was a pain for me because I just have a newly converted one, but I forgot it in Fort McMurray, so I'm just using this black orc banner bearer right now for this game. And then on this side, continuing with myself, I have 5 squig herds in the back. They're just watching for his 2 gorgers. I have another 50 orcs, 2 wolf chariots, another 50 night goblins, and some spiders. And then he has 5 lead belchers and the 8 of those, whatever, the trappers, that's what they're called. So anyway, this game here, it's a game against a guy that I've known for like a decade. He's a lot like me, where he used to be a power gamer and now he just kind of plays interesting lists. But unfortunately for this game, we got blood and glory, and so with him, he has a very small army. He only starts with 5 game points, or whatever you want to call it. And so once I either kill Greasus, or if I kill his 2 supporting units, the game's over right there. So that was a little bit unfortunate. I asked him if he wanted to re-roll, but he said he wanted to give it a try, so we'll see what happens. Now, ogres get first turn, and they don't really move up very much, and this is for 2 reasons. Number 1, his nobbler is bigger, so he doesn't have any of that support of his most numerous unit there. And the second thing is that I think he was actually very intimidated from my army. I mean, I obviously had him vastly outnumbered. I had a lot of chariots, and he was really kept on checking the range of my chariots. If I slam those into a unit of iron guts, they're going to get smashed, but at the same time they'll do some damage as well. So maybe he was worried about them taking too much damage before they got stuck in. So at any rate, he was just kind of slowing down and hoping he'd do more damage with his long shooting. But I mean, his magic, I have the spirit totem and the staff of sneaky stealing, so he didn't get anything off the entire game. His scrap launcher killed, 6 of my night goblins in the back and 2 orcs, but panic is past, and that's all that really happened over here. And then on this flank, just a little bit of shuffling up, but again, not very much at all. Orcs turn 1, Animosity makes my big unit there 50 squabble, but that's no big deal. I join up my characters to it. I know they're safer back in the bunker, but it's more just so I could get them up and spreading out the range. The problem with having that bunker is I have to put 1 on either side, which keeps them away from that right night goblin unit, which I need to obviously have in range. So anyway, those night goblins are moving up to bait him and start picking the fight, and then I'll be countering later. With my shooting, I went and I killed 1 giant, wounded another one, and my magic did a couple of wounds to the giant, but nothing really spectacular. And then on this flank, this unit of 50 was actually stupid from that special ability of Greasus, and they just kind of stumbled up. But otherwise, I'm just kind of really trying to push up the pressure so I can swing around this flank and really hit hard on that right unit. Ogre turn 2, he charges his giant into my guys over here. And as you can see from this this picture, I just killed him with my great weapon guys, and that was that. Again, he doesn't really push up much at all. What caused that? The killing of the giant panicked his nobblers and they ran back, so those nobblers are actually now back there fleeing. And then his main unit, he just really wasn't ready to commit yet. He just really wanted to wait for more support from the nobblers or something. So he's kind of just still, maybe he's waiting for me to make a mistake. And then on the bottom left there, you can see his Gorger came in. And then on this side, his lead belchers move up, shoot my horde, kill a whopping 9 of them. And his trappers move up, kill one of my spiders, and that's all that really happened over here. Orcs turn 2. So this is, I start making my move. I send my left Night Goblins into the flank of his left unit while I hit the front with the chariot. I beat and break him and run him down, so that's why my units are now where you see them. I reform my one unit there, the Ogre Horde. It was more just to kind of block things off, and even to just to give his one general unit one good try to come in and get a good fight before I flank them. Because I'm feeling kind of bad for him at this point, where on the right unit. And what happened here is I charged in. I even got the spell off where all 6s of theirs turn to 1s. We forgot to count it, but he lost combat by 3, barely held thanks to the reroll, and the game could have been done right there had that happened. So that's why I'm feeling more safe, where, okay, if he wants to charge his general into mine and we can have, one little fun combat before that unit breaks and that's the game, then, that's fine with me. And then on this side, my Night Goblin Horde had charged his lead belchers. They had fled and got away, and I just moved up my Orc Horde so that next turn I could flank that one unit and really break it. And my spiders charged the trappers and managed to beat them as well. So that's all great. Ogre's turn 3. His nobblers charged my guys. I beat them and reformed to see them. His Gorger had some bad luck. He tried charging across to hit my bunker, failed to charge. His other Gorger came in behind him, and even his big general's unit with Greasus, he tried charging my general's unit and failed as well because of how Greasus is actually slower than a regular ogre. And just also, with his stupidity tests, he kept on trying to make my guys stupid, but I kept on passing with my rerollable leadership 9, so that really didn't play a big factor at all. He also charged his one scrap launcher into my chariot that was supporting there. He beat me. My Night Goblins held because they're stubborn, but he then overran into my other chariot. And actually, I should also mention that in that fight there, that he was killing off my supporting characters pretty easily. In the first round of combat, his Iron Guts just killed off two of my heroes. My other hero is fighting his Butcher. Right now, at this point, his Butcher's down to 1 wound. But, yeah, I was kind of surprised with the ease that he was able to kill off these characters of mine. But then again, these are Iron Guts we're talking about. The other thing you can see that happened is that his lead belchers rallied, and they reformed into that Congo line in a hope to stopping my ogres my orcs from flanking them. And here's just another fast picture of this side of the board. And then here's the last picture. That horde on the right, my orcs charged his lead belchers. He fled. I passed leadership to hit the flank. I hit his general's unit with my big unit of orcs and a chariot. And at this point, he just said, "Okay, let's call it." I mean, he was looking forward to playing another game. It was pretty obvious that this time his right unit would probably break, and even if his general might kill mine for fun, the game was over at this point. I had still a lot of banners left. He would have to do a lot of damage to try and stop me, and no matter what, that right unit of his was going to die. So victory to Orcs. Some thoughts on the battle here. That river I actually think played a pretty big part because his 5 ogres in there, I never wanted to really charge them because all of a sudden, if I'm in there, I don't have steadfast, I don't have my ranks. So even though I vastly outnumber him, he'd probably beat me in this little slugfest in the water. So it was a very defensive position to his. I also found that my heroes were very helpful, although I still was surprised at how fast they died. And as far as Greasus, he's an interesting special character, but in general, I think he's more just for fun, and I wouldn't suggest any ogre players out there to really be using him, just because how expensive he is and how limited he makes your army, because you need the 2 Iron Gut units, and that makes your army just even smaller. So anyway, here's the fast report, and hope you like it. Bye.